Sound is the language we feel before we understand it. It's the heartbeat behind a film, a spark in a song, even a space between our words. But what happens when that heartbeat is created by a machine? Well, when AI starts writing melodies, producing tones, and even like generating the frequencies that move us, does that actually lose its soul? Or does it even evolve into something new? Well, we're actually going to talk today with Carlos Bueno, an audio engineer, a sound designer, and a founder of Bueno Sounds to explore how artificial intelligence is changing the way we listen, create, and connect. Because maybe the real question isn't whether machines can make music, it's whether they can make us feel. And that's what's really important. And so, Carlos, hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
It's going fine. It's going really, really good. It's a very busy day. Today's really hot over here in Los Angeles. And I came out like my literally it said it was gonna be 67 degrees today. And all of a sudden I came out with a jacket and it was literally around 74 what I felt like when I came outside.
Way
So
too hot, especially for November. I feel
exactly.
yeah, yeah, terrible.
It's a mess. It's so a mess. It's out of control. So, hey, I just want to like know. Can you like tell the audience just like a little bit about you? What you what started you on this journey? Like, what's up? What's going down?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a freelance audio engineer, and right now what I do mostly is film and TV. So I work on a reality show called Dragula, and I've done a few seasons for them doing their mixing, and I work on some freelance movies. You can stream a few of them. De La Cruz is streaming on Amazon. That movie won me 2 awards: best sound design at the Paris Film Awards and Best Sound Design at the Florence Film Awards. And so, yeah, most of what I do now is film and TV. I still have some music stuff that I do, but to be honest, and partially because of AI and stuff like that, I think I
Yeah,
enjoy working in film and TV more, even though I did start with music. And like music was my first love. I went to college and studied music production, and I was in like bands always growing up. Production for me was almost like a means to an end because I like needed to record my rock band or whatever. And until I ended up liking production more than uh, maybe more than, like, the life that being a musician would have to offer, like having
yeah.
to
No, I
travel,
agree.
like,
I agree one hundred
uh
percent.
yeah, it's rough, and then post-production, I've just gotten luckier, to be honest. It's about finding an opportunity and, like, being prepared, like, yeah, I mean, because had I not lived downtown, I wouldn't have met, like, my biggest clients, it's just serendipity, to be honest.
No, I get it. I definitely get it. I think like the cool part is that like living in downtown in general is that there is just so many like a huge mix of creatives and like the people that we meet here are so different and we're all here for like the hustle. That's just like what we are. And we're completely different than like what most people think of what Los Angeles is as well. And I think that's what's like so special like about us
Yeah.
and what's so, like, really, really cool, you know?
Yeah, everybody's doing something super interesting, super cool. Because people, like, move here, like, nobody's like, "Oh, I'm born and raised in downtown LA,"
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely
and
true.
you definitely have some sort of, like, how can I say it, like, vision or style, if, like, you're like, "Yeah, I gotta live downtown," and, it's a great group of people.
Yeah, it's a really good group of people. And so, like, let me just, like, ask you this, though, like, what does sound mean to you beyond music?
Me personally, sound is like the my relationship with sound might be like the closest thing I have to like a religion, because I really do believe in the vibrations and all this stuff. And like when people talk about like, oh, he's like good vibes, like I think that means something. And when someone walks in a room with a really like terrible mood and everybody feels it, like I think that there is something there. It's interesting because, I mean, things are basically, like, measured in their, uh, like, by their vibrations, and obviously, like, actually sound is designed that way, and it's even more
Mhm.
interesting in synthesis, I think, because in synthesis, you get to, like, make a sound from scratch,
Yeah.
and a friend of mine calls, playing the synth, like, playing God, 'cause,
Huh.
like, you're basically, like, you're generating sound from nothing. literally like electronically with like a little computer, just creating a vibration, you know?
Right.
And I mean, our planet vibrates. It's like everything
Things
is vibration.
and so, like, this is what I wanna talk about, though, is that I wanna know about the Bueno method. I don't know if you ever coined yourself yet, but I'm gonna coin it.
Dude, honestly, like what I do now is the most important thing for me is if I'm
Yeah.
working on a scene or anything that I can watch the scene and like just enjoy the scene, you know? And
Right.
if there's anything that throws me off, like, you know, you got to get in there. But the objective is always like just to watch a scene or watch a film or even just listen to a song too, because I still have the music production things, even though
Yeah.
I'm not as busy with it as I am with all this other stuff. But it's just like, how would I enjoy this? And, like, never giving it any less. If you've ever worked on something that you
Mhm.
haven't given it 100%,
Yeah.
uh, it feels terrible because it's just out there.
I know, like, for sure. Like, I never wanna give anybody shitty work. Like, what's the point
Yeah,
of having that? Well, I'd be like, absolutely not. So I consider it's like I have like a little bit of Virgo somewhere inside my house. It's not like the present situation, but I do have like a tiny bit of perfectionism like in me when I have to like see something and I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that not everything is perfect, but I want to make sure that this is like in a level that I'll be able to tweak to make it that way, you know?
sure.
And also, like, perfection is subjective, and that's, like, the other part, though, too, because like, your perfection may not be perfect for other people, right? It's just, like, whatever that
Yeah.
you do.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no such thing. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
such
so
thing, you know,
true.
it's like, you'll never, like, get there, you know? There's always gonna be something to tweak or something. I think it was Da Vinci that said, like, that art, like, you don't finish it, you abandon it.
Right.
It's true with everything, you know, at a certain point, like, something has to be, you know, you have to call it. And sometimes, like, that is perfect for literally everyone else. My favorite songs, to me, they're perfect. And if you ask
Right.
the engineers or whoever, like, maybe they can tell you about, like, this one thing or, like, whatever, but that would have never bothered me or anyone that doesn't have, like, that close of a relationship with, like, the creation process.
No, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. And so, like, that you work across analog and digital tools. So, like, how has, like, AI changed the way you actually approach production and mixing right now?
Well, see, I have a lot of things that I like about the AI integration and a lot of things that I don't like about the
Mhm.
AI integration.
Okay.
And I'm just like, man, like, what's the point? You know, like, what are you doing this for?
Mhm.
At that point, like, it's only a matter of time before like a songwriter just like cuts the middle, man. I mean, if it's just like an AI thing writing the chords and the melodies, anyways, you know, or just straight up using a fully AI beat. And
Yeah.
maybe that's where we're headed, and I personally wouldn't enjoy that because I think part of the music thing is the creation aspect, but, like, what do I know? Like, this is probably gonna start winning Grammys, you know, like, AI generated stuff.
Yeah, but, like, also, I think, though, it's just, like, there's, like, a human imperfection thing that actually creates emotional resonance in it as well, and, like, when we're, like, playing, like, especially with AI and, like, the editing world and that, like, sound effect, there's some things that I feel that, like, AI just cannot just hit just yet, but I think, though but AI is better to, like, read what your habits are when you're working on a particular project as well, and so they'll have, like, a really cool, like, understanding even, like, further down the road. You're like, "Oh, he likes this, a little bit of this, let's add a little glitch right here," or something like that, like, some little judge moments, and that's what's, like, super cool.
And it's on another level, you know, because I've been working a lot with those tools as well as with other tools that get rid of noise that don't necessarily have AI integrated into them, and
Mhm.
it's really, um like, sometimes it's scary when you use the AI one and it just, like, nails it, you know? And it's like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, this really understands" like, it really understands what's happening. It's not just analyzing, like, the frequency spectrum and trying to find, like, inconsistency or whatever. This has, like, a learning algorithm that understands, like, what a voice is, you know? And
No, yeah.
in that sense, like, how could you reject AI, you know, if it's getting rid of, like, all the noise that's, like, on a microphone. Like, why would you reject it, you know?
And yeah, and that's like the other part about it as well. It's just like as technology it moves so quickly now. Like AI really basically like just changes the game on just how we are just like interacting and like also be able to go ahead and do anything like part of that creative. And so even when we're doing like just say for instance, like I'm on this particular platform, I know by the time that as soon as I'm like we're done with this particular interview that I'll have, like, a magic AI system that's gonna come in to be able to go ahead and remove, like, all the imperfections in here, you know? And that's, like, super cool, and by the time we're, like, finished, I'll be hearing, like, a clear conversation between, like, both of us while we're in the middle of the editing in the post, and that's cool. That's so insane.
Yeah, it's cool. For stuff like, I think about somebody in your position, like the time it saves you, the money it saves you, like the just the accessibility to the final
Right.
product that it gives you, like it's like you can't compete with that, you know? Like how are you? It's just I suppose like when I start to not necessarily like it is when you start writing your melodies with like AI tools, or in
Mhm.
other words, you stop writing melodies because like the AI does it, and like you stop and I don't really know, like, how much, like, this is really happening or not, but I see these, like, new tools, and they're called plugins. So on
Mhm.
anything, whether you're using GarageBand or Pro Tools, like, you can go download some free ones right now and open them, like, wherever. GarageBand, Pro Tools, Logic, doesn't matter. And yeah, when you have these, like, creating bass lines, creating chords, creating melodies, I'm like, "Dude, like, isn't the part like, don't we like that part? Like, isn't that the fun part?"
Yes, that's, like, a lot of fun. That's, like, the best part is when you start doing those. Yeah, plugins definitely help for all that.
Yeah, they do, of course. It's these AI ones that I don't necessarily wanna say, like, do the work for you because, I fear that I'm sounding like that person that you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
when
no, I
Tron
get it.
like when Tron, you know about Tron, they didn't
Yeah.
nominate it for best special effects because 'cause they're, like, cheating. They use computers for the special effects. And now, like, special effects, of course, you can do those on and it's really hard to tell, like, what people are gonna be cool with and not cool with as far as, like, AI integration goes into the arts, you know? I've worked on some projects that have had, like, AI in the marketing side of things,
Yeah.
and me personally, I did think like, "Oh, kinda whack," you know? But I don't know, man. We'll see what people decide because I think if somebody wants to, like, hit the treadmill for, like, 30 minutes and they can write in a prompt like, "I'm gonna run for 30 minutes. I need you to, like, orchestrate something like a
Right.
film score," and make it have its ups and downs match when, like and it's, like, beneficial for, like, cardiovascular reasons, like, whatever, like, it's like, that's crazy, right? Like, that somebody can
No,
just
it's
do that.
crazy, and that's like, and that's just like how public perception is like basically shifted, and I think that like we're really are more open more open and a little bit more less resistant to machine creativity.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons that we are though is that we have time and money on our minds all the time. And if you're not like a straight up perfectionist or a classicist like to your art, and if you be able to go ahead and get something done with a matter of like 12 minutes versus it's going to take you a 8 hour day to get like, a particular like, what maybe like 3 bars of eight basically to get done or like in the music sense or something like that. It totally like changes like the game. So I see though that the like public perception it's moving a little bit slow, but the other part is that I know that they like it due to the time and also probably like their pocketbook too, like at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
that's the thing.
Yeah, and
That's the
that's like
thing.
yeah, and that's like what's really, really big. Do you think that like AI is actually building authenticity into sound today or no?
It's hard to say because, like, this is like there's good stuff made by AI.
Mhm,
I think the first AI song it was learned from the Beatles catalog, and it was
mhm.
called Daddy's Car, and you listen to it, and it's like, "Dude, this is a good song." So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if somebody listens to something and it does stuff to their brain chemically, dopamine, serotonin, whatever,
Right, right.
we can get very philosophical, but I also don't wanna beg the the question of, like, well, then why do we even, like, have artists? Because I think we would end up regretting, like, getting rid of our artists, which we've been disincentivizing the arts for, like, the past, like, few hundred years, you know what I mean? Like
Right, and without the artist anyway, we won't have the music, and we'll have nothing to feed that algorithm or have anything to feed, like, the AI machine or like, we won't have any of these things without the artist anyway, and so if you just leave it to, like, some, like, basic person just to go ahead and just create something, you're like, "Oh, just use this person's type of music." We don't know how that worked, but we also I personally might have a feeling that it just probably will regress in the terms of how we basically listen to new music. Like, let's just, like, say, for instance, today, I finally found out what the Grammy nominations were for the album of the year. This has been a very uneventful year, like, for music, for me, in the pop culture, like, stance of things, you know? What like, with the exception of something like Doja Cat, um, and, like, her album, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
maybe with
No,
Sabrina Carpenter or something
but
like that.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that, you know, like, when is gonna be the moment, though, when not only, like, when the plug-in tools and, like, when technology basically in general will be able to work with, like, artists and also, like, sound engineers to make, like, that absolutely amazing album or that album that's actually gonna go ahead and, that's gonna slap, like, at the end of the day, and that's
I
those other things, you know?
I think that we have to be culturally somewhere where we could even, like, maybe, like, accept, like, a great album like that, you know? And maybe we don't even have, like, the right person right now, you know? Maybe but
Yes.
what I'm hoping is, like, best case scenario, all this AI stuff on the heels of, like, right now in the music industry, like, people can make a Grammy-winning song from a dorm room in, like, FL Studio on a laptop. You
That's
know what I mean?
definitely
Like,
true. You're right.
so off the by the way, I respect that, and I think that's incredible. But off the heels of, like, a music industry that's, well, basically dominated by, like, people making, like, beats, on, like, FL Studio and stuff like that. And when we have AI now making songs that, I guess that people really enjoy, like, we saw that Bad Bunny one, like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that people were, like, people were enjoying that song more than, like, his latest album at that time.
Yeah.
I hope that what it does is that it creates a vacuum where people start to crave, like, something more exceptional, and that
Mhm.
all the hyper abundance of music to consume creates a desire for, like, people to have more exclusive, like, personal rotations of music, Like, almost
Mhm.
like back in the day when you would have, like, a rotation of 5 albums and, like, every, like, 6 months, you would kinda start to rotate one for, like, another one, and, like, they would have these albums that you associate with, like, these chapters of your life and stuff like that, but I think if, like, stuff is being cranked out, and there's already, like, even, like, rappers who can put out, like, 100 songs a year, on, like, throughout, like, a bunch of, like, different platforms.
Yeah, they can. Like, in 5 seconds, they could definitely do all that stuff, you
Yeah.
know?
So at that point, I am hoping that it does create that vacuum where people do start craving, like, more, but I think that it is gonna take some exceptional artists to be able to break through that barrier because, like, culturally, like, musically, culturally, like, it's kinda dominated by, like, some goofballs, like making meme music and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about the charts, but I'm talking about, like, culturally, you know?
Right, I think, though here's, like, the other part, though, like, after we're talking about, like, this Grammy, like, situation, the other part is that I feel that we're in a time at this moment where we could potentially as well have an artist renaissance where the music is actually going to mean a lot, and that's really, really important, like, for us as millennials and also, like, Gen Z as well, is that we're gonna have to have music that is gonna go ahead and put that message, like, out there that makes us, like, basically think. It's the same thing that is, like, what was going on in, like, in the 1960s, within the civil rights era, even through the '70s, through the Vietnam era, and, where we had a new form of technology, you know, in sound recording, basically, that produced like what's going on and like was produced like Stevie Wonder's songs in the Key of Life, you know, like all those
Oh,
like
yeah.
great, like amazing albums. And so I really hope though that and I felt it in 23. You know, I'm a Beehive fan, but you know, like Renaissance and like Cowboy Carter, I love those albums. I thought they have absolutely stunning meaning. You know, even being those tours and hearing the sound in those tours were great. But I feel that these we're about to roll into something. I think not only like AI and the technology that's a part of it, but we're about to go into something that's going to be very, very special. And I really hope that music companies or independent labels are really going to be valuing and championing those particular type of artists too.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Personally, I would love that, but at the end of the day, it is gonna be just, like, what the people want to hear.
And that's the
I don't know
part, right?
yeah, because, like, this Spotify, like, the rock band that's AI generated, have you heard about this?
Oh god, I don't even wanna know about that. Like, that sounds like that sounds
They have
terrible.
they have
It sounds
hundreds of
terrible.
thousands of monthly listeners because people are just tuning into, like, some what they think are some good sounding songs and, like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what can I even say about that? Like, these songs are literally, yeah, having that chemical reaction in their brain, they're enjoying it. So I don't know, it becomes very complicated. I would much rather people didn't do that, because I think that art should be created by humans. But I really think that the best thing to hope for is again, yeah, like that vacuum, where people are so jazzed by it right now, and then like you lose like the honeymoon phase of AI culturally, and it, starts to become kinda whack, and to me, that seems likely anyways, you know? To me, that
No,
seems
I
likely
see
anyways
it.
because what isn't impressive is relative, so
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And, like, do you think, like, AI is, like, democratizing production, or is it centralizing it underneath, like, the major platforms? Because, like, what I'm thinking about, like, right now is that, for instance, like, what Apple and also, like, Spotify with the introduction of, like, lossy sounds and lossless sounds and
Uh-huh,
you know, and, like, different type of, like, auto compression, like, levels that they're basically doing through the music, and like, even when I, like, listen to it, I'm not getting as an audiophile, I'm not getting what I want out of it. I have to, like, sit there and, like, start playing around to figure out what the sound that I actually want out of these albums, even listening to it, but now we're
for
seeing,
sure.
though, into the technology, even Spotify, that's, like, bringing that in.
Yeah, I love it. I've done the listening test
Mhm.
between streaming platforms and, I use Tidal myself,
Okay, you're a Tidal fan,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I am. To me, that one, that's just gave me, like, the best sound, and, I mean, I think it's great, like, yeah, people are creating these new algorithms or whatever that, like, have better file compression, and you can really hear the difference, and also Apple, doing a lot of integration with Dolby. They have a Dolby
Yeah.
chip in, like, the new AirPods, stuff like that, and
Mhm.
they have that technology, right, of, like, when you move your head, like, the
The
panning
spatial
stays with it.
audio.
Yeah, I'm like, "God,
Yeah.
I thought that's cool," That's a cool listener experience.
No, I agree, and since we're talking about that real quick, what do you think about, like, the new Google, um, like, sound that's actually, like, coming out right now that is, like, kinda, like, beating Dolby Atmos?
Well, I don't know about beating Dolby Atmos, to be
Do you think it's
honest, because what I think it is I think it's a different thing to offer the same result, but it's like a competitor doing it. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. Also, as of this latest Pro Tools update that came, I swear this is like a week old.
right.
You can do 360 audio in Pro Tools. You don't need to open a third party thing, and they're doing it with, Sony. It's like a Sony
Mm.
360 audio thing,
Mhm.
whereas, like, literally, like, a week ago plus,
Mhm.
there's this program called the Dolby Atmos Renderer. That's a standalone program that would interact with Pro Tools, and that's how you're doing stuff in Dolby Atmos, but now you don't have to open another program. Now you can do it within Pro Tools. So when you have an entire industry of people mixing film in
Mhm.
in Pro Tools, and now, like, just by updating the program, they can start doing 360 audio. I would have to see it. I think Samsung stuff is gonna have it because it's made by Samsung.
See, I love Samsung, like, I love Samsung
Okay, for sure.
audio. So, that's like my thing, so the sound bar though, like for Bluetooth is not that great, but the audio
Well,
sound is stunning.
if you replace it with one of those, we gotta, like, try it out and, like, see if we can hear, or whatever,
Yes, let's
compare it
do
to.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm totally down for that. I am totally down for that. Okay, so we're actually at we're closing to the end of this right now. So yeah, as since we have like talked about Grammys, I'm actually currently building my podcast um Spotify playlist right now. And so for anybody that wants to actually go ahead and listen to it, just like follow culturally incompetent playlist. So what is I just added my first person, that's Jessie Ware. I love my Jessie Ware, so I have please on there for Jessie Ware. But for you, what is your song so I'll be able to add on to the playlist?
My god. You're not going for any specific vibe, I can throw anything at you?
You can throw anything at me.
It's gonna be, Die Hard by Kendrick Lamar.
You said diet?
Die Hard by Kendrick Lamar, like a
Die Hard.
Die
Oh,
Hard, you know? Yeah.
that's my freaking song.
Yeah.
That's my song. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I remember you told me that you love that song, and I love Kendrick, so I'm definitely gonna go with that one.
Okay, so we're gonna add that one on to the playlist. So we got this set. Okay. Yes, yes, it's so exciting. Okay, so the other question is that where would we be able to go ahead and find you, Carlos? Because I want to know.
Of course, sounds, so either buenosounds.com. A lot of people
Mhm.
contact me on Bueno Sounds through Instagram,
Mhm.
buenosounds@gmail.com, but yeah, Bueno Sounds is the name there, and yeah, for anything, either studio recording or post-production, yeah, it's all on the
Okay.
website.
Okay. See, the other thing is, as a marketer, make sure you start having some of those clips that you actually are working on or that's already been approved, so you'd be able to go ahead and put it on your Instagram as well or TikTok.
That's a
Hello,
good one.
that part. That's a really good one.
For real.
So people have some idea of like what you're doing behind the
Yeah,
scenes and also
of
like your
course,
final
that only
result.
makes sense.
Yeah, just make sure it's approved. We don't want no lawyers after you.
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That part right there. And so, yeah, we're close. So basically, we're closing out at the end of the show. But I just feel that at the end, the algorithm can imitate the music, but you really just can't hear the silence in between. And thank you so much. That's a big part. And Carlos, thank you so much for being here today. And let's get to recording.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's
it.
do it, man. Thank you for
See,
having me. Thank you for
becoming
letting me talk about this. I love this.
Absolutely. I'm becoming more competent now in the audio field now, see, after this. So I was culturally incompetent. Now I'm more becoming competent in it. So we made it happen. So
Yeah, you've been
thank
commented. You
you.
have a great
So
sound system.
thank you. You already know it. You already know
Yeah.
it. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
already
yeah.
ready to
It's
go.
it's super sick.
Okay. Yes, yes. So thank you, listener. And please like and follow and also like subscribe. And also wherever that you actually listen to your podcast. So we'll talk to you soon and ready for the next course. Goodbye now.